Stephanie Bain, I have a books. I'm a book nerd. There's so many books. Hello everyone, Stephanie here. Today's video is going to be my May wrap up. This month I read a novella, and then I read 5 books, and I'm on my 6th book right now. But of course, it's already June 1st. It is June 1st, holy crap. And I'll be finishing it in June, but I'll talk about that at the end, obvi. So the very first thing I read this month was Virgins, which is a prequel novella to Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. It was amazing, but it just takes place with, partially with Jamie being in France and just things that happened beforehand, and his little adventures with Ian. So that was amazing. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars and I totally stinking loved it. The second thing I read was Endgame: The Training Diaries, which is a compilation, compilation, whatever. It's 3 novellas that are prequels to Endgame, the series by James Frey and Nils Johnson Shelton. I have a review for this. I'll leave the link down below because, I go more in depth about it. I stinking loved this freaking bind-up of novellas. Holy shit. This is the best novellas I've ever read. I really, it gave so much to the story, and I cannot wait because this month, the Zero Line Chronicles, which is another bind-up, it's another 3 novellas, and I'm so excited because I absolutely love it. So I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars as well. I read Flawed by Cecilia Ahern. I also have a review for this. I'll leave the link down below, but this was just about a girl named, I was gonna say Cecilia. Celestine. God, I'm horrible. Yeah, I don't know why for a second I thought that, whatever. I don't know. It's about a girl named Celestine who lives in a world where the government is, there's the government and there's the guild. The government, of course, is there for, the lawbreakers and stuff, but the guild is there for people who they think are flawed. They put them on trial, and if you're caught aiding a fraud, you go to prison, but if they find you to be flawed, you are branded 1 out of 5 places. It could be more, but Celestine gets put in a situation where something happens and she's risked being, branded flawed. I loved this freaking book. I thought the world was really fun. You guys already know that I like dystopians that are placed in a utopian world. There was a couple things I wanted more from it, which is just more in the beginning, a little more space between the start and the get and going kind of thing. I wanted more in between that. But it's fun. It's written extremely well. I loved everything about this book, and I have to wait a whole nother freaking year. But if I'm correct, I gave this a 4.25 out of 5 stars. After I read Flawed, I finished listening to Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen on an ebook, not ebook, in audiobook format, and it was narrated by, I already forgot the lady's name. I thought it was good. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars, but quite frankly, I just prefer the movie over the book. I think the movie is just done so well. I don't know if I will ever reread this, but it was good. I really did enjoy it. And I think reading experience wise, I actually preferred Pride and Prejudice and Zombies by Seth Grahame-Smith over Pride and Prejudice. It was good, but the movie exists, and the movie's a thing that's perfect. After I read Pride and Prejudice, or listened to it, whatever you want to call it, I then read, that's right, Fallen Angel by David Lammer. David Lammer had contacted me, and he sent me the ebook version to review. I stinking love this book. I also have a review where I talk more about it, so I'll link it down below because I'm not going to sit here forever. But just brief overview, it's about a girl who, Eve, whatever you want to call her, whose parents passed away, and from New York, she's moved to a small town in Montana. And anyway, while she's there, something happens and angels want to kill her, and she may or may not fall in love with a demon boy. There was a couple things in it that I thought could have been, fixed or avoided, but overall, holy crap, guys, that story was really, it sucked me in. I cannot wait for the 2nd book. I really like the epilogue in the book was really awesome, and I'm just super excited to see exactly where this is gonna go and how it's gonna play out. But I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 stars, but highly recommended if you like paranormal, and it's about angels. I've only read 2 things with angels in it, if I'm correct. Mortal Instruments and Kiss by an Angel. And I like this take on it. Like, it's really backwards and it's really awesome, and I highly recommend it. You know, the links will be down below. And after that, I read my most anticipated book of the month. I was so excited. And that is The Last Star by Rick Yancey. This is the final book in the Fifth Wave series. I'm going to review, like, immediately after this, I have to go review it because I just haven't had the time to film it. So, 5 out of 5 stars. I thought it was beautiful, and like, seriously, I'm getting, like, teary-eyed just thinking about this ending. I thought the ending was just so good. Like, a lot of people are always talking about how they loved the first book and they disliked Infinite Sea. I loved Infinite Sea just as much as I love the Fifth Wave, but they're completely different in the way that the story is told. The Fifth Wave's, like, really, you know, fast-paced and action-packed and just like, oh my god, this whole new world and all this stuff's going on, what the hell's going on? And then the Infinite Sea, it starts to, like, slow down the pace. There's still action. There's always action in these books. But I feel like the pacing starts to slow down and you're really starting to delve into, like, the emotions of the characters. And I felt like this last book was just really all about the emotions. So there was a lot of funny things and there was a lot of sad, heartbreaking moments, and I just absolutely adore this ending. I thought it was great for the series, and I highly recommend it if you stopped at Infinite Sea because you just didn't care for it. I personally loved it, and I will go more into depth because there's just, there's little things that I'm, like, really still confused about, and I'm just like, what? So I don't know, but it's epic and it's amazing, and I loved it. Good job. Oh my god, I seriously can't. It was just so good. It was so good. And then after I read The Last Star, I wanted to read something, like, lighthearted because, no joke, it took me so long to read that book. You guys know I devoured the Fifth Wave and I devoured the Infinite Sea in, like, one night. And then this is not that much longer than the Infinite Sea. And I took my time because I literally was just like, oh my god, that chapter was it was a little too much for me, so I had to, like, put it down. So I needed something just, like, light and fun to read. So I picked up Thirst, Volume 1 by Christopher Pike. This has The Last Vampire, Black Blood, and Red Dice. I have already read the first story, The Last Vampire, which is the first book in this bind-up. I'm almost done with the second book in here. I'm on page 312, and it's pretty much until 400. But I have to say, this is, like, so far, because I'm not going to give you a rating. I rated the first book in this 3.5. I'm going to rate each of them and then just do an average for the whole book. But I gave it a 3.5. It's kind of ridiculous. Like, the things that I would normally absolutely hate in books is pretty much, like, all in here. But Christopher Pike, you know, like, congratulations, at least from my end, because it's so good, though. Like, it's so good. I am devouring this. I'm just like, it's so good. There's something about vampire, like, anything paranormal written in the 90s is, I find, to be a little bit better. There's just something about it that's so different and so unique. But anyway, this is about a girl named Sita, / she also goes by Eileen. Shit, is that her name? Alyssa. Why did I say Eileen? And she's a vampire. She's 5,000 years old. And, you know, like, things happen. I don't even want to talk about it because I had no idea what this was about when I started reading it. I just started reading it, and it's so good. It's so good. I love it. It's so much fun. It's like I'm having such a fun time reading this and devouring it. Like, I hope I can finish this tonight. I really want to, if not tomorrow. But yes, I absolutely love it. So that is my wrap up. I'm gonna go film my TBR because I would just combine them, but you guys know I talk too much. So if there's any reviews for books that I've mentioned that I've read this month, I'll link them down below. I'm going to go review The Last Star right now because I absolutely need to. And I'm just so excited to talk about it. So I hope you guys had a great reading month, and I'll see you next time. Bye!